We're live.
Hello, hi, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of Codex Legendarium. Good to see you. Welcome back. We have returned after the death of Lord Canrow. Spoilers if you didn't watch last week's episode, but that's how sequential storytelling works. Lord Canrow and Mr. Pleasant, as we took to calling him, because he died before you could find out his name.
Fuck that guy!
But we'll get to the recap more specifically in just a minute here. But before that, Justin, any announcements?
Just the usual. We have a link tree. If you are looking in our chat right now, you can just type in !links and you can get our link tree, which has all of our links to our Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and then Tiltify, where we raise money for Color of Change. So you can check it all out there. Yep. Literally it. Nothing going on.
Nice.
There might be a channel hiatus coming up because I'm moving, hopefully, so we'll find out.
All right. Well, let's get to today. So the party had just ridden the Polar Express, the wagon train, the Aeorian wagon train south from the camp through the Stone Sea. They had finished off some snow monsters and a ice spirit possessed griffin. They arrived at the ruin. They found that it was this old looking tower coming up out of the stones of the Stone Sea. The section around it had kind of been excavated and pushed back into this like retaining wall to keep the rocky dunes from covering it up again. It was made of this weird material that has this almost like marbled pattern. Unfortunately, the best way I could describe it is probably like five colored camo print is like the best way I can think to describe it. Unfortunately, but that is kind of like what it looks like. Of just kind of like almost like if you took 5 different colors of clay and then just like kind of smush them together into like this weird marbled pattern. And the colors are red, green, blue, black, and white. They went and they stood out in this. They hung out in this camp outside for a little while that was filled with Aeorian workers and soldiers. Now I'll point out in retrospect that there were only Aeorian soldiers and workers, and they had mentioned that there had been multiple crews of foreign workers that had been brought in, yet you had never seen.
We
never
get
saw any
it.
other.
We get it. You snuck it past us.
Hey, I'm just pointing out the Easter eggs.
Hope you're proud.
I mean, I am, but look, anytime I can sneak something past 6 entire other people, it's a proud moment because y'all are suspicious and like keeping an eye out for everything. Anyway, you managed to, you split up. So 3 of you went and tried to get an audience with Lord Canrow inside. You're basically told like hang out for a bit and we'll bring you in first. And then the other 3 of you kind of looked around for clues and gleaned various things about the local area. You noticed that one of you noticed that the workers and the soldiers were like kind of on edge and a little nervous about everything as you arrived. You were brought inside. You met with Lord Canrow, who was just a very pleasant man. No, he wasn't. And spoke with him. He didn't really tell you much, but he was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a tour of the place after my speech. And then sent you back down to everybody else in this big giant room in the ruin that was featured a giant brass plate in the middle of the room that was basically like the floor of the majority of the room. He gave a speech, but he spoke very quietly and like with a low voice that forced everyone to like kind of crowd up close to him. When he finished the speech, the floor dropped down like an elevator and the room lit up, or the room that you fell into lit up like a Christmas tree and started like arcing lightning all over, orange lightning all over the place. At which point the frost spirit that had been hounding you and attacking you and animating polar bear and griffin corpses flew in and absorbed the first bolt of like discharge of lightning that would have disintegrated all of you probably, or done something bad, and was able to give you enough time to bust the doors open before the second bolt went off, which I will mention the fact that you were able to the spirit would have continued taking hits, I will tell you that there are benefits for the fact that you managed to get out before the second discharge went off. So you got through that very quickly. Leading you out into a massive room in which Canrow, Mr. Pleasant, and several guards were standing. The room featured the carvings of 4 massive creatures, 2 of which look identical to tattoos that Viktoria and Galina have. One was unfamiliar. One was unfamiliar to all but one of you, which was the carving on the floor of a man kind of curled up on the floor wearing dark robes, with an arm reaching up the central pillar that Canrow and Mr. Pleasant were standing on. And instead of a head, he had a comet trailing, like with a trailing fiery tail that kind of like going in the direction he was curling around the circular floor. Before Canrow really could get into his villain's speech, you blew his head off, just dead immediately. He had 4 hit points, massive damage rules. He was just dead. So he just died. The fight began. Mr. Pleasant ended up being a little bit more formidable. Galina was able to basically talk down the guards, the soldiers in the room, and get them to surrender, which was greatly helped by the fact that Canrow had his head blown off instantly. That it was like the intimidation factor combined with the like legitimacy that Galina and Viktoria both have as nobles of Aor just got them to throw down their weapons. 2 successful persuasion checks did very well. They threw down their weapons. You were just fighting Mr. Pleasant and the troll that he called. The troll really only did damage to Yulyanya and really yucked up Yulyanya, but she was able to get away. Everyone, I think Montblanc was the one that Montblanc got the killing blow on the troll and just like smashed its head in. Viktoria cut Mr. Pleasant's knees off, and all the rest of the leg below them. But he was technically still alive a little bit. So Princess got up there, spoke to him a little bit. He said some ominous shit, and then she slit his throat with a sickle, ending shortly, literally, I think the turn before Montblanc killed the troll. So that is where we find ourselves in the very end of combat. You have like 30 people behind you who were the workers, the foreign workers, who are very aware that you just saved them from being sacrificed by the assholes you just killed. 4 guards who have all thrown down their weapons and are looking very nervous at the moment. And 2 humanoid corpses and a troll corpse. So that's where you are. That's where we're starting. That's where you're at.
Great. Sorry. The room. Where are the guards?
So the room is like this huge circular room with like a domed ceiling. There's a pillar in the middle. I think it says like 15 feet tall. And then from the pillar, there are 4 walkways that extend kind of like the spokes of a wheel out to the walls, where there's another walkway that runs around the edge of the wall. The guards are all standing on one of the walkways 15 feet up, and they've all tossed their weapons down to the ground 15 feet below. So their weapons aren't even like within their reach.
Great. Can I just like address them? Just guards, assemble here at attention now.
Right. There's a staircase. There's like at the edge of the room, there is a staircase that leads down like further out. So they make their way over to that, hurry down the stairs, hustle over to you, and then all just 1, 2, 3, 4, attention, hands behind their back, just like straight back, chins up, just like sweating, but you can see them all just like at attention. Okay, trembling great. A little bit, but like controlling it to stay at attention.
Fantastic. So then I just say, Lord Canrow has committed treason today. The region of the Bladed Scepter has fallen under the weight of his actions, and the only thing keeping you alive was making the correct choice at the right time and my waning patience. From here on out, by the authority of the 5-star Chalice, I am taking command not only of the Aorians at the ruins, but of the excavation of the ruins itself. Effective immediately, any Aorian who will not submit to this authority will be considered a traitor and arrested. Now, bring me both Casta and Noen. Go.
Everybody else, please make me a perception check.
I have proficiency. 17.
Okay.
It's not too bad. 12.
Due to reasons discussed earlier, Viktoria got a 4.
Okay.
Tedros has a, I believe it's a 15. Yeah.
Okay.
I can count. Yes, 15.
And Yulyanya.
Well, I got a 2, so I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look at my. What am I adding?
Perception bonus, which should be wisdom unless you're proficient.
+2, so I'm 4. Yulyanya is having a rough time today.
Oh yeah.
She's pretty shell shocked, so
Yeah.
didn't notice anything.
Yep. Yeah. For reasons. So that'll be Tedros and Montblanc. Both of you are still alert. Princess, you're distracted by everything that just happened. You're still, I think, standing over Mr. Pleasant's dead body.
Yeah.
So, it's Montblanc and Tedros. Both of you at the far side of the room, up above where the troll, like on the walkway above where the troll came in. There's the stairs that lead up back to the floor that you came from, and like around the corner from those stairs, both of you just spy the head of another guard just peeking around the corner, just wide-eyed, staring down into just like the scene of this room.
Howdy. What's going on up there?
You see the head just recede back from around the corner.
All right, I'm gonna walk up.
I mean, it's a good ways away. Like you have to go like up the stairs, up on the walkway, around the outside, and then like 80 feet.
There's someone else. There's
So-
another guard up here, and I'm just gonna go.
Okay, you're just gonna start following.
Yep.
Okay. Oh.
Tedros will head over to Yulyanya
Okay.
and, are you okay? Look like you got rattled a little bit there.
I'm just a little shocked. I'm not really sure what's going on.
And may I? And he will use a second level slot to cast Cure Wounds. So you will be getting back big money, big money, big money. Oh, that is actually really big money. 17.
Awesome. What
Nice.
does that mean?
17
you got
health.
back 17 hit points.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So Tedros walks over, holds his hands up. There's that glow of pinkish light, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pinkish light, and then just your wounds just begin closing up. Your sore muscles just like relaxed, and there's all the like bruises in place you got hit, just kind of like just this feeling of warmth that just recedes into just pain is gone.
Thank you, Tedros. Thank you.
A little bit clearer. Can you? Any ringing? Anything?
No, I think I'll be okay.
All right. I'm gonna go. No, actually, I think I'm gonna stay. And he just kind of looks around at the twins, and is just kind of waiting to see what they're clearly in charge here. So he's just kind of waiting to see what they're doing.
So the four guards that you addressed, you sent them off to get Casta and Noan. So they both
Spread the
hurry
word.
off.
Yeah.
They hurry off. Montblanc, I think, are you go like, so they're like booking it to go like follow orders. So
Okay.
are you like, I was just like, are you you're going like faster than them or just like at a more like leisurely
I'm-
pace?
30 feet dash to go 60.
Right. I meant just like, so you're basically like
Yeah.
running after this
Yeah.
guy. Okay. I didn't know if you were just like walking after him.
Nope.
Okay, so you start moving first. So you're ahead of these four soldiers as you run out. So you go like up the stairs, up around the walkway, up and then out. You can see as you sprint out into onto these stairs, you come out onto the or you come out into a hallway. It takes you a second to kind of look around and find your bearings, but as you look through another door, you find yourself on the balcony that Lord Canrow was speaking from, which doesn't have a way down. You can actually see that, like, if you go back out the hallway or around one of the other balconies, there's stairs that lead down to the room. Up the hallway ahead of you that leads out, you can just like see the legs of that guard vanishing up the stairs as he's running away from you. And you can see like all of the officials and other guards and people around who like were present when you were being like addressed all just see you come up and like they freeze and look very, very confused because you're supposed to be dead.
Turn around and go back the way I came.
Okay. Just turn around, head back down. The four guards like nearly run into you on their way up the stairs, but you can kind of like shuffle past them and they all like go around to go and find the people they were ordered to go find. So Montblanc comes walking back down the stairs. In the meantime, down below, all of the people who were supposed to be sacrificed are like kind of just like talking amongst themselves and getting over the shock of like nearly dying, seeing a troll, and just like watching all of you just like take care of all of those life-threatening problems that they didn't really have to deal with, but were certainly aware of. And they're just kind of like shell-shocked, standing there in awe, like whispering to themselves, just kind of out loud processing everything that just happened.
While everyone's doing that, Princess is gonna kneel down in front of Mr. Pleasant and just look over, like check his pockets, just like for anything.
Let's see. So you find Mr. Pleasant's pockets. You find his crank, which is made of
Wait, he has another one? Because
you already took it. That's right. Right. Or no, Victoria took it.
Victoria
and gave
it to you.
That's right. So you already have that.
Okay.
He also has a coin purse on him with 30 gold pieces in it.
Okay.
But other than that, not really much. And you're aware that like the chances of finding, like especially through your searching and just like finding him, the chances of finding written correspondence or record of what he's doing is very unlikely. These people are very careful and are very good at not leaving paper trails, so chances of clues are very unlikely even at a place even this far away from what they perceive as danger.
Yeah. Okay. Noted.
Okay. And he had a club on him, but that was his weapon. That's about it, I think.
Yeah. Prince is just gonna sit there kneeling and then look. Are all the guards gone? Like, or only like a few of them went, or did all of them go? I don't recall.
All of them went. There were only 4 of them in the room.
Okay. Then Princess is gonna make her way over to Galina.
Okay.
What did you tell them? Sorry.
Canrow's body, which also has a coin purse. And he also has a coin purse on his belt if you wanted to search that as well.
Okay. I'm good. I'm going. But yeah. I feel like I'm losing you guys.
I feel like I'm losing Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam.
So I'm like, is the issue me
Me.
or is it?
It's Sam.
It's Sam.
Okay.
It's Sam.
Me.
Oh no.
Usually
Oh no,
me.
our DM, he's broken.
I hate you.
Am I here? I can swear. You're all fine. I can see you just. Oh, look! I can see myself on Twitch
Hi,
frozen. This is
Sam.
weird.
You're kind of back.
Am I? Because
Fine.
to me, I never left. I can see you all just fine.
You're back now.
You're
Okay,
Okay.
cool. This is weird. Like normally when I go out, you all freeze too, but it was like just the upload, I guess. That's strange.
All right.
All right.
So you're saying
Well-
something about Canrow? You think something
Yeah.
about a coin purse?
Yeah, just gonna say you see.
That's all?
Yeah, he's got money on him too if you wanted to, but otherwise you can just walk right by.
Yeah, no, I'm good on coin.
Okay.
Moving towards Galina.
Okay.
What did you tell the guards?
Told them to get Noen and Casta. And
Okay.
to let the rest of the Aeorians know that the 5-star chalice is taking control.
Okay. That sounds like a good way to start. Are you all right?
No. I think when you look at Galina right now, just looking at her makes you think of a violent shipwrecking storm in the middle of just a vast ocean. There is something completely unhinged and primal about her rage right now.
I know you've had a very, very bad day, but you have been in this life. You've been given abilities and noble blood. This is a gift to others and a curse to you. So you will have many, many, many bad days after this one. That's your burden to bear as a noble. But this could be a very bad day for them as well. That's up to you. Or it could be the day they remember that Lady Galina of the 5-star chalice decided to show mercy on them and give them new purpose. Because rage is a useful tool. I know that better than anyone, but you can do more with persuasion than intimidation, because intimidation just brings fear, and the only thing that you need to beat fear is something bigger and scarier than you. And I know there are many things in this world that are bigger and scarier than you, as frightening as you look right now. So what kind of day are these soldiers about to have, Lady Galina?
I appreciate your counsel, Princess. This is a matter of Aeor.
Noted. And then Princess is just gonna walk away.
Okay. You do see some of the workers, former sacrifices that you met on your way in. Most of the ones that Viktoria met before you left. You see some of them. You see a couple of them. Lucella, the human who said she was a stonecutter, but also said she used to be a gladiator. And let's see, Zezarex, the dragonborn, who was a fisherman, and Tathula, the orcish carpenter. All of the three of them kind of go over to where the guards dropped their weapons and shields, and just kind of looking at each other and around and unsure of what's happening. Each pick up a spear and a shield, but look over at you and just kind of Lucella in particular, the former gladiator, just kind of touches the spear to her head and a salute gesture, kind of just no, these aren't for you. These are you're great. You can just tell these people are arming themselves, but they're not afraid of you. Well, they are afraid of you, but
Not against us.
yes,
Yeah.
you can tell these people have got your back. You've got, no matter what happens, you've got at least 30 angry people behind you whose lives you just saved.
Fantastic.
And a moment later, or a little bit later, not too long, you'll hear footsteps coming down. Oh, in the meantime, Montblanc, as you come down, I don't know how focused you are on the guard situation and stuff, but knowing Montblanc and his monster hunting proclivities, I will tell you that depending on when you want to do this, you are aware of some properties of troll body parts that could be worth harvesting.
Immediately doing that when I come back down.
Okay. So the way we're going to do this is I will ask for a survival check. The DC of the survival check will determine how much you're able to harvest.
Okay.
And then I'll also tell you that there are three main parts that you can harvest. I'll tell you what they do, and you basically I'll tell you how many. Once you make the check, I'll tell you how many parts you can harvest, and then you'll be able to tell me how many uses of each part you want from that. Like you can kind of make a shopping list. I will say that if I saw your face. If Montblanc's not proficient in survival, if you'd like to ask for help from someone in the party who is, I will allow that as well. Unless you want to just have him do it himself.
I've got survival.
Anyone good at harvesting animals or monsters?
Princess. Oh, you're.
Oh, I mean, I've dealt a lot with animals.
All right, sort of the same thing. I just need a hand here holding some meat flaps up and whatnot.
Princess, did you want to come too?
It's fine. And Princess turns away, walks away from even further away from everybody else.
Okay.
Okay, Monty, I'll help you.
Oh, Yulyanya as Montblanc's apprentice monster hunter.
Exactly.
It's really cute with her little displacer beast hat.
Yep. And now the two of them working together to harvest troll parts.
I love it. Adorable.
So
okay.
cute.
Montblanc, I'm guessing you're assisting Yulyanya for the role then?
Sure.
Because if she has a higher bonus, but
Yeah.
if you want to roll it with advantage, it's up to you.
Doesn't
What
matter.
is your
+1.
what is your survival?
+1.
His is +1.
Oh, +1, so mine is +4.
Yeah. Okay. So Yulyanya, roll with advantage. So roll twice. Take the better of the two.
Okay, what happens when I roll with advantage, but I roll a 1?
Did you roll
Because I
one
have
both times?
lucky.
Oh, then you roll the 1 again. Also, yeah.
So I re-roll the 1 and then
you
I
re-roll
roll
the
again.
1. Yes.
Oof, yikes! Come on, third time's the charm.
Is that another one?
No, I wish it was another 1. It was a 5 and a 3. Oh my god!
Oof.
Wow.
Oh boy.
So she really wants to help, but she's pretty shook up.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. You're having trouble. You're not in this moment. I'm going to say you cannot. You do not successfully. The base DC was 10 to get anything out of it, so you cannot successfully harvest anything out of this troll.
Does
Yikes.
All right.
Princess see them struggling?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna come over and I'm like, Yule dear, let me see. And then Princess is gonna try.
Okay.
Right, that's a 24.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Okay. So the way this works, the DC was 10 for the first one, and then I said every 3 you get above 10, you get to harvest another part or use. So that is 10, 13, 16, 19, 22. So you get 5.
Okay.
Wow.
So from those, I will tell you, and you can mix and match these as much as you want. There's 3 usable parts from a troll, and you can you don't need the whole
I
you don't need
assume
the
I'm
whole
sharing this
thing.
information. Or
would
would that survival check
I
be
feel
high
like
enough
I
for-
would know
yeah,
as well.
Yeah, you two actually
Okay.
both would be aware of this.
Cool, okay.
But you're working together, so since you're all working together, Montblanc, you can all kind of discuss what you want to take. But Princess is the
Okay,
one that
cool.
made the roll, so ultimately gets to make the decision.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Princess probably would leave everything to Montblanc and Yulyanya.
Okay. So I mean, this determines what you're harvesting with this.
Hmm.
Troll's blood can be used as a primary component in the creation of potions of health or potions of healing. It'll be it's herbalism kit to make potions, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So it will be, so you can use, so each, basically with like a little bit of extra ingredients, mundane stuff you can get pretty much like from harvesting in the wilderness. You can use Troll's Blood to make a potion of healing. I will tell you that the base DC, because trolls have such regenerative properties, the base DC starts you at a potion of greater healing, and then it goes up from there depending on how well you roll on the herbalism check. Next up is the Troll Liver. This one doesn't have like increasing grade of use, but they can be used to create elixirs of health, which basically have the effect of, it's more or less a lesser restoration, like it can remove diseases, poisons, and other stuff like that, because it's capable of filtering stuff out. Now, the last one is the Troll Heart. It's more difficult to use, and it requires a dose of Troll's Blood in order to use. So, like, the Troll Heart, like, to be used requires a second, requires also a dose of Troll Blood to use when put together. Again, with some other ingredients. The potion that it creates is not an existing potion, but basically the potion replicates the effects of the regeneration spell on consumption.
There's a regeneration spell?
Yeah, it regenerates limbs.
Yeah, like you can limbs and body parts can be grown back, and like I think it's like for the next minute you recover one HP around.
You can also like return like missing organs too.
Yeah, like it's real good, but also like it's basically like you basically can use the part of the heart and the blood to create a potion that replicates a troll's regeneration.
Amazing. Yeah, for future reference, I have a +6 on survival. Just
You really just let them struggle like that.
I can watch. Like, okay, you guys can do it.
I believe in you guys.
Oh, sorry. Regeneration. I'm so sorry. Regenerate. The spell lasts for an hour, and you recover 1 hit point a round, and but initially you recover 48 plus 15 hit points, and then 1 a round after that.
Okay.
So it is
a powerful 7th level spell.
Yeah, that is a high level spell. You have the ability, based on how much you got, you potentially could make 2 of those because it requires one chunk of the heart, 1 bit of blood, and you can get 5 bits total. So you all can decide how much of what you want to take, and then it does still require rolls to turn those into stuff. So like that's assuming that all of the rolls to make the potions go.
Are you doing the rules for it requires like half the gold cost to make something?
For this stuff, no, because normally yes, but because you're getting like the ingredients directly from a troll and like they have their special properties, that basically covers the gold cost. Like these are the primary magical ingredients.
And then what about the work week stuff?
It takes way less time again because it's like
okay.
The work week stuff I'm going to go with, like that's for taking like base non-magical components and like slowly going through the alchemical process to extract magical energies from these. Trolls are just such magical fantastical creatures. That shit's already in there. Like it takes you're basically just like a tiny bit of work to alchemically like bring out the power that's already there. So it takes way less time to make stuff out of monster parts.
Cool.
We should kill more trolls.
Hence, monster hunting is going to be a lucrative. Yeah, I was gonna say Montblanc. I've got stuff in place. Montblanc's gonna have a lucrative time killing monsters and taking their bits. I'm gonna be. Various monsters will have stuff you can do with their bits, and I'll be coming up with them as we go.
Displacer beasts.
Yeah. So you just figure out what you want to take from that and how much. If you want to, so we're not like taking too much time with just accounting. If you all want to do that, like, and if the 3 of you want to do that in the Discord, we will get back to the guards returning with Casta and Noan. So, the 4 guards return. They're bringing Casta and Noan down. You can see from the looks on their faces that the guards made the tactful decision not to tell them why they were being brought down.
These are my homies.
They were just like, come with us. you're needed downstairs. So these two, you see them get to the top of the stairs, and then these two, like, their face, they just go pale, and their eyes widen, and their jaws drop open
Good.
as they see Lord Canrow dead over there, a troll laying with its head bashed in, currently just, like, in the process of just being brutally harvested and butchered by these three. And then, like, just all of the people who were supposed to be sacrificed standing there looking at them pissed, and, like, the three that took weapons, like, just slowly point the spears in their direction. I will say you can get something from their reactions, but though, so any of the three that are not distracted by troll harvesting can make an insight check to glean information from their initial reactions.
I got a natural 20.
Oh, okay. Oh, Galina is just in her element.
I'm pretty sure I don't break double digits. Probably because Tedros is a lot more concerned with what Galina's reaction is going to be than what their reaction is.
Okay.
Viktoria has made it a point to kind of escape to the edges and not be involved in the crowd.
Okay.
And as such,
Just not paying attention.
has gotten a 12.
Okay.
So
Oh, if you're going to the edge, or you're going like the edge of the room.
the edges of the room, yes.
Okay. For you, we'll get to you in a second, but you actually see that there is inscription on the walls that you didn't see originally, that we will get to for you, that you can read because it's actually 2 lines. One of the lines, I don't think you don't speak Draconic, right?
I don't know.
I
Okay.
do.
Right. One of the lines is Draconic, and the line below it is Primordial, though. So you will be able to read that. We'll tell you what all that says in a minute if you want to start reading that. Otherwise, you'll just be able to read the one section you're looking at, because it does go around the entire room. Galina, with the natural 20, looking at these two, you can see Casta has the look on someone's face who, like, you can see his world collapsing around him. Just absolutely, like, has an oh shit look on his face, and, like, you can track his eyes of, like, all of the oh shits going off in his mind of, like, oh god, Canrow's dead, oh shit, the troll is dead, but, like, there's recognition for the troll, like, knew that was there, and then seeing, like, the crowd of sacrifices and everybody else, like, oh shit, they're still alive. Like, you can see all of that recognition on Casta's face. Noan, on the other hand, you see utter confusion on Noan's face. Noan's face is just bouncing around the room to everything, just has, like, why the hell is there a troll here? Why is Lord Canrow dead? Why are all these people holding weapons? Why are the workers all down here in the basement? Like, what is even happening? Which I will tell you then, with especially a natural 20, you can pretty much immediately glean from their reactions. Casta was in on it. No one was not. No one did not know what he was. No one was not aware of what he was dropping people off to do, with, like, where these people were going.
Fantastic. Good to know.
Given how much, like, he was probably actually getting ready to turn back around. You don't know that he's ever even made, like, looking around at the place. You don't even know, based on his reaction, again with the natural 20, if he's ever even been in the ruin before, or if he's just turned right around and gone back every time.
Classic Noan.
So so the two of them then are just, like, the guards just kind of, like, kind of start shoving them forward, like, all right, let's go. Like, these four guards belong to you. The more, like, the more they do for you, the more that their loyalty meter is just going up.
Yeah.
So they're just, like, trying now to show themselves as, like, doing what you want them to do. So they're just like I don't work for you anymore. Let's go. And then they present the two, Noan and Casta, down to you. And the two of them are just still staring around at everything, and then they get to you just speechless.
All right, to my guards, I'm gonna be like, all right. I also am actually going to need the officials from upstairs as well. The highest ranking under myself and Viktoria, Aeorians left at the ruins. I will need them as well.
Yes, my lady. They all say in unison as they all, we have your leave, my lady.
You do, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And then they turn around and like hustle back upstairs. Also, none of them have weapons, so they just they just turn and run back upstairs. And then the Noah and Casta are down there, just like even more confused because those guards are taking orders from you now.
Great. Oh, my dear friends, Noah and Casta. It is so great to see you. For a moment, I was worried it would never happen again. Noah, if you wouldn't mind, just stand over here for a little bit. I just want to make sure you stay safe.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just slowly goes exactly where you tell him to. You can see he's like looking around, trying to like puzzle together what happened. He's like looking up at the dead bodies up top and the troll, and is like comparing heights, and looks like it looks like the story that he's like starting to put together is like the troll killed the other two, like killed Canrow and Mister Pleasant, and then like you all killed the troll, but like why is there a troll in here? And like he's not close enough to the bodies to see the wounds, so he's just like in the process of just trying to like get his bearings on what's happening. And Casta knows exactly what happened, and is standing there just silently staring at you.
Casta, kneel.
See just a moment of hesitation, and like the threads of dignity that just hang on for a second before breaking, and he just like nods and then just kneels down.
There is a choice that you must make now. It is a gamble, of course. Either you can die here and now as the dog that you are, or you can tell me everything that has been going on. And then I will flip a coin. If you call it correctly, you can live.
Well, I'll take the one that has the chance at life, I suppose.
Fantastic.
Where would you like me to start?
The beginning.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know everything. I only know my part of things. Canrow was secretive about what was all going on here, but I was able to put together parts of it. Not enough. I can tell you, but there's gaps.
Very well.
Canrow, there was an expedition. They found this place. After that, Canrow started up merchant relationships with the locals, so that mostly just to get an excuse to start excavating this place. The locals weren't interested in it. They never come down this way. Are you still there? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry, I'm taking notes.
I was like, did you just leave? Okay. Where was I? He excavated it. He was interested in it, but when I don't know what happened after he found the place and how he got to this. I was hired on afterwards. I was part of the group that brought people down, but he found a couple things. He always talked about how Aor is expanding. Aor is conquering other lands, and Aor is it needs resources. And he talked about how this place has untapped potential because the locals, the people of Sveruk, they never mine. They're not interested in metals or mining, and the ground is too hard anyway. So he was always talking about how if we could find a way to set up operations here, if we could work with, or he would say work with, he would say trick, he would say intimidate, whatever. If we could get a means of getting a mining operation going, then we would have a whole untapped nation of natural resources to bring back to Aor for the glory and prestige of the bladed scepter. he found out what this place did, that it can change the weather. I don't know what else. That's all I know. It can. I don't know if it can do more, but he said it can change the weather, but it needed something to power it. He found that people powered it by by sacrificing people. You can see just in that moment, kind of like Casta has never said this part out loud before, and is like kind of there's that moment of someone who has been like lying to themselves and just kind of turning a blind eye to part of what they're doing, because he never had to see the sacrifices. He was aware of them, but there's just mentally,
there is no Warren Bossing say.
Yeah, just kind of mentally no Warren Bossing sayed himself about this in order to like square the circle of what was happening here.
That was like an excuse. I don't know. I'm not.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, just mentally that's where he's at, and just like the realization is just like oh, I've been doing horrible things.
No, you have then.
And he says he was bringing in people to sacrifice them, and so he could change the weather. He wanted to make it warmer. He wanted to make it better for our people to come here, so we would be able to soften the ground, melt the ice, so our ships could come in, so that we could mine and we could pull iron, gold, whatever we could find
Resources?
for Aor.
Weather? You're killing people for resources and changing the weather?
Yes, that was the reason. And it's another instance of just saying it out loud, just kind of like has just a
Yeah, when it's not like bluntly handed to you like that.
Yep.
But why?
Lord Canrow would say that people fight wars for the same reasons, and these people's deaths would be less horrible than the ones they'd suffer in war. Oh, gods.
Where does Lord Canrow get these weird notions?
I can't say.
Do you have names of co-conspirators of Lord Canrow?
What do you mean co-conspirators?
Was there anybody back in Aor who was aware of this and helping him along?
That I don't know. This may have been his own doing. I didn't find out what we were doing until I was here. So he may have been keeping it to himself. He was very secretive about it. We were ordered once he had figured out what was happening, everyone was ordered to not talk about the ruin anymore unless it was immediately necessary. We were ordered to pretend we didn't know anything about it, even when it didn't make sense.
Understood. Exactly how many people have come through here? How many people have died?
Each wagon train brings in 36 people. There have been 5 wagon trains so far. So, well, minus this one, so the 4, almost 150.
That is a lot of death that is on your hands. I have one final question for you, Casta. Do you feel lucky?
Not at the moment, no.
That is unfortunate. Heads or tails? Flip.
Heads.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d20. On an 11 to 20, it'll be heads. On a 1 through 10, it'll be tails.
Okay.
15.
So that was tails?
No, 15 is heads.
Oh, okay.
11
okay.
to 20 was heads.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Very well. It seems Lady Luck has decided to smile on you today, Casta. I'm
At this,
happy to see this myself. I believe you will be a fantastic tool in the excavation of the ruins.
You can immediately see, like, as the coin landed heads up, just Castor just broke out crying, just tears running down the face, as he just watched his own mortality just like tumble through the air.
at this point, Princess would walk up to Galina where she's standing, and kneel down in front of Casta. I have one more question for you, if you would answer. And at this point, Princess is gonna go like in like side pouch, like hold out like a handkerchief to him to clean off his face.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about the man that was with him?
What man? Takes the handkerchief, is just holding on to it, like doesn't even like shell shock, too shell shocked to do anything with it. Just the what? Who?
The other man, the one that's dead over there, points in the direction of Mr. Pleasant.
Sees just like, because he's like 15 feet up, just sees like one foot sticking off the edge, but then a matching foot with the same boot sticking off a different edge in a way that like shouldn't be possible if they were still attached to a body, and just the one with the and he like makes kind of this motion. We were to refer to him as Mr. Alain.
Mr.
Alain. Alain.
Mr. Lane.
Sorry, can you say that one more time for me?
Yeah, Alain. Alain.
Can you say that one more time for me? For some reason, the letters just keep getting lost in my brain and not making any sense.
The group chat.
Thank you so much.
You're good.
And was a name all you had from him?
We you see like the previous deal, like there's some assumption the previous deal of like tell us everything you know or die like just is still active in him, so he's just like he was a guest of Lord Canrow. He was supposed to, we were told he was some sort of foreign dignitary, but anytime we asked questions, they both just sort of gave us a cold look and didn't answer, and we all just eventually stopped asking. He brought in one of the wagon trains. One of the passages was one of the wagons was replaced. It wasn't a passenger wagon; it was a cargo wagon instead. So that'd be 100 and that'd be only 140, not 144. But still, it was a box. It moved. We could hear it breathing, and but when it got here, it was brought in secret. But I was there. I was supposed to keep everyone in their tents when they brought it in. But I saw it, and it was. And he just turns and points at the troll.
Casta, you're safe from me. I'm not a Bayor. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Lady Luck is looking on you. Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
Thank you. And then Prince is gonna get up, give Galina a look, and walk away.
Okay.
The
So like pointed, kind of look, not happy with you, kind of look, and walk away.
You will also see that Noan is like just has been listening to the whole thing and hearing like that he was responsible for carting 140 people to their deaths, despite the fact that he didn't know it. But you can just see like just a complicated storm of emotions on his face, just like guilt, anger, just red in the face, and just like practically shaking at this moment and just staring daggers at Casta right now as the only like currently present person he can like lay responsibility on.
Can I just turn to good old Teddy? Tedros, the ruins are yours to do what you wished with them. Whatever, you have the backing of the 5-star chalice. I am going to go handle the rest of the Aeorians upstairs. And then I'm just gonna go deal with that unless you have something to say.
He'll give a nod and say, "Thank you. I appreciate it."
Okay. I think at this point, let's get to Viktoria, who has been distracting himself with the inscription around the room.
Has anybody been looking at Viktoria? Because it's paranoid looking behind her.
I think Tedros, I think, said he's been keeping an eye on both twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty much
Briefly.
just Tedros, I think, because everyone else has been very occupied with other things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say though, his attention definitely shifted as soon as Casta and no one got down. So
Okay.
probably not during that part.
Not during that part. Great. When no one's eyes are on Viktoria, she's breaking down, like silent crying, full like tears, wiping the tears away to read the inscriptions.
Okay. I'm gonna guess. So there's inscriptions around. There's an inscription that runs the full. Because again, the room is a big dome. It's divided into fourths, into quarters. Each quarter has a massive carving of these four elementals on it. And then you also notice, as you're walking around, they come up to the middle, directly above the central pillar. There's kind of a circle in like the center of the dome where there's another inscription around it that you could read from the center if you look up. But I'm going to guess that Viktoria probably starts reading at the Earth Turtle.
Yeah, Terran.
Mm-hmm. So you get up to that one, and it's you're staring up at it, and from the angle as it like is angled down at you on the edge of the dome, like it's been painted. It's been a very long time since it was put up there, so it's like the paint is mostly like chipped and flaked away, but it has been safe underground, so it hasn't really encountered that much weather, so you can still see the like coloring and everything. So when you look up, like especially through like the blurry eye, like tear-filled eyes, like it almost looks like for a second that big giant elemental is actually just like there looking down at you with that like kind look on its face that's tattooed on your back. And you don't get to see it very often because it's like on your back, so you don't actually get to look at it without like multiple mirrors involved. So the inscription says,
Cries a little bit more.
the inscription under that one says, so that the great Zaratan, or Zaratan, I don't know how you pronounce that, deep in the bones of the land, may lay dormant as we still the trembling of shaking earth and calm the scorching wrath of angry mountaintops.
Can I get you to put those in Discord?
I will. I'll do as you read.
I'm
this
gonna
whole
stop
thing,
writing.
All right, I'll put the
I'm
whole.
like,
I'll put the whole inscription in the Discord. I'll also tell you that once someone else reads through it in Draconic, the Draconic version is the exact same words. Just it's the same inscription in two different languages. So no extra hidden meaning. So that's that one. Do you just kind of keep working your way clockwise around the room?
Yep.
Okay. The next one, so that the Leviathan in its slumbering depths may remain undisturbed as we protect the shores and coast from towering tidal waves and the cold might of the sea. The next one, so that the Phoenix may remain at roost in a quiet smolder as we calm the fires that threaten to burn the land and scorch the earth. And then the last one around the outside, so that the tempest may play across the sky, riding the squalls and gusts of the air, as we maintain the border between land and sky to keep the storms and winds from crashing down. And then do you go to the middle and look up for the central inscription? Okay. We create this place to harness the power of the lesser spirits so that the elders may rest. By the wisdom of Sekhun, the traveler, we empower this place to change the world for the better and protect all those in it.
God, that's like so cool and not at all what Lord Canrow was using it for.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, that is the inscription that you see. We've got the three of you, or the two of you that were harvesting everything. Did you figure out what all you wanted from that? Okay, so what'd you end up taking?
Yulyanya wants the blood.
Okay, so you were able to take basically 5 uses from any of those 3. So like, how many of how many doses of blood and how many chunks of heart, basically?
Ah.
If you want my accounting, my advice from an accounting standpoint, seeing as I did really good at accounting in school, it makes the most sense to take 2 parts heart, 3 parts blood.
Let's do that. But what do you want? What does Princess want?
Princess would have probably walked away. Princess probably wouldn't have grabbed anything from it. She just wanted to help you guys, really. She wouldn't have grabbed anything.
So
Well,
Princess
thank
walked over, just like carved out a couple chunks of heart, siphoned off a couple of vials of blood, and just like, here you go, walked away.
How about 1 part heart, 1 part blood for Yulyanya, 1 part heart, 2 parts blood for Monty?
That works. Because I think Montblanc's the only one in the party who is trained in an herbalism kit. Oh, are you not? Oh, alchemist. Oh, we'll talk. We'll talk about it. We'll see which one makes sense. The tool rules for tools are also very hand wavy anyway. So, alchemist supplies might make sense anyway. Because like you make potions with alchemy, and well, sometimes the rules are dumb. So this is going to be one of those times. I'll say an alchemist kit can. How about this? I'll say an alchemist kit can be used to make potions out of monster parts. An herbalism kit can be used to make potions out of like herbs and stuff you can buy. So you can't make potions out of like, if you can't just like go to market and buy stuff to make potions, but you can make potions if you kill monsters. There we go. Fits. So I think you got two uses of troll blood and one chunk of troll heart. So if y'all want to turn any of this junk into potions, I think Montblanc is your guy.
You're welcome, by the way.
Well, now.
Thank you, Princess. I'm so impressed. Where did you learn that?
The same place she shows the crank.
Oh, they show you how to control monsters and how to kill them?
Well, I'm a quick learner, observant. They didn't teach me so much as I paid attention. Like Galina was saying, it's important.
Yes, I will pay attention.
Okay. And then Tedros, what are you doing at this point? So Galina has headed upstairs to deal with the officials and everybody. The tenant has let you know the ruin is yours.
I think he would gather all of the people who had originally come.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he would probably start out by asking, just probably chatting with them just to find out, what were they told? We came here under very different circumstances than they did, so he'd be trying to figure out what they were told, what they were promised.
Okay. You can get they're all very eager to talk and compare stories at this point and just figure out what all happened. They were all basically told that there was an excavation happening here, and that basically just the ruin needed workers. It needed all sorts of people. They were all hired under different reasons, all of which sounded fairly legitimate. So some of the named ones you've already met, like Lucella is a stonecutter, just like I was hired to do masonry, basically. Cadence as a musician was just I was hired to entertain the camp and keep spirits up. Zezarex is a fisherman and was just I was hired just to carry stuff. I was hired to just be a hauler and laborer. Tethula is a carpenter and was just I was hired to help with scaffolding and bracing and stuff. Kelderbane, the gambler, is just yeah, I lost a bet and came and took this job. I was again just a hauler. I was supposed to carry stuff. And then Wilhelmina is the baker, and she's just yeah, I was here to work in the kitchens. I was here to work and feed everybody. So they were all basically hired to do legitimate jobs that it seems like the camp doesn't actually need.
I think he would get together both with them and just with all of the other, I guess, 30 people
Mhm.
who were going to be sacrificed. And I think he would take a moment to gather his thoughts and I think he would kind of grab his holy symbol and rub it a little bit. And then he'll kind of go to where he can be heard best by everybody and say, we were in there with you, so you know that we didn't know any of this. I came south because I was interested in these ruins. I believe that in order for you to move forward, in order for you to really understand where you're going, knowing where you came from is important. I cannot tell you that I can match whatever offer you were given. To be honest, I don't have a lot of money. But if you feel the same way, at least for as long as our supplies last, I'd like to do what I came to do. I've been around some ruins. I've seen one or two things, definitely not more than 5. And I can give you some pointers, show you what not to do and what you can probably safely do. And we can learn a little bit about the people who came before us. It is your decision. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. I would never ask you to take part in something that wasn't for you. And given everything that's happened, even if you were interested before, it makes sense for you to not be interested now.
Everyone just kind of like looks around, just like processing, and then Kelder, the gambler, is going to be the first one to speak up and just be like, "Hey, you all saved our asses, so hey, we're here for whatever you want to do. You are. Hey, folks, hey, why don't we give a round of applause for these heroes here, huh?" And like just like starts clapping, and just everyone else is just kind of like, yeah, and just like over in the like through this big open chamber, you can just hear like applause start ringing out, like echoing through the room as the people start just like they kind of like latch on to that idea of just like, holy shit, heroes just saved our lives, and like that bit something to like grab onto in this ridiculous situation. And like they start like applauding, and then they're just like, whatever, hey, you know what, let's look. They didn't want us to be here. They wanted to kill us. Let's take a look around and see what they didn't want us to see.
I think before people start moving, Tedros will kind of call for attention, and he'll say, "I'm happy that you're all okay. And I'm humbled that you appreciate what we did. But what you do now is for you. It's not for us. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to thank us for anything. I only want you to do this if that's what you want to do. It was a crime that your freedom was stolen. Let it be your choice."
Zezarex will say, "Well, I came here to haul rocks, so whatever you're offering is certainly more interesting than that. And you did save our lives, so I think we can muster a bit of gratitude." There's like a general murmur of agreement to that. Just
all right.
And Lucella says, "Plus, I wouldn't mind getting a kick in at that Canrow guy if we happen to pass by him."
I certainly wouldn't stop you. You certainly won't be kicking back.
And Cadence, the musician, just says, "Yeah, you all made sure of that real quick. I saw that. That was woo. Don't get on these people's bad sides, folks." Glances over at Galina. Just see a few eyes just move over to Galina and just like,
yeah. She's usually really nice.
hey, they saw you before this. You already saved them all on the way in, or so they think, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So once that's kind of been made clear, Tedros will he'll probably start at the doors that they broke.
Okay.
And just try and see what he can see, like if he can see the mechanism that was damaged, and he's just like
Weep softly about it.
yeah.
Look what they did to my boy.
Okay. So you're gonna be just kind of like start looking around.
Yeah. He will take some time just to make sure that everyone else is okay.
Okay.
So he'll like just visually check to see if some people were harvesting, some people were taking a look around at stuff. Galina is Galina-ing. So, you know, as long as everybody seems to be okay, he will continue doing what he came to do.
Okay. Then go ahead and make me an investigation check with advantage because you have 30 people helping you.
I'll take it.
Can't tell if it's a good haha or a bad haha.
We still have DM inspiration.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm going to use my DM inspiration.
That's right.
Because one of those was definitely a natural one.
Oh,
and the other one looks like a 1.
Oh boy. You do not have Yulyanya's luck.
Ooh, did you roll another nat 1?
No, it's a little bit higher than that. The highest one was a 7 for a total of 8.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oof.
You're having some trouble. All right. You're not.
I knew.
Yeah.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
You're just looking around. You're just peeking around at stuff.
Look, y'all.
Not finding anything in the moment.
I know what my luck looks like.
Okay. I will tell you that in the last ruin you were in, the one where you found the 2 most relevant pieces of information to you, you found those in a hidden chamber, and I'll tell you that after you search for a while, and then this comes to you that the last one you were in, they were in a hidden chamber, and the chamber was concealed near the symbol of the owl with the moon for a head that you saw. And pretty much after like a while of looking, like where you're going to end this with is the realization of like you're searching around the outside of the room and the doors and the sacrifice chamber, is you're going to then finally turn to the center of the room, see the giant carving of the man with the comet for a head in the center of the room, reaching up to the pillar, and just be like, oh, maybe there's something around that pillar where all the controls were. That might be it. And like that's going to be the conclusion of your searching for now. It's like realizing like that'd probably be the thing.
Got it.
So then we'll go back upstairs with Galina, who is going up with her so your guards have rounded up all of the officials.
They're so amazing. I love them. I have to get their names.
However, I will tell you that there are more guards than just your 4 gathered up also there among the officials, kind of like looking around like what's going on. They're starting to get suspicious. They can hear your voice echoing because like as you get up there, you can see that like the elevator thing that you all went down is still down at the bottom. So there's just a big hole in the middle of the room that leads to those open doors. So like your voice you can like anybody that's still talking down there, you can just hear like the sounds echoing up, and like they're distorted by how much they echo. You can't make out words, but like they could definitely hear your voice down there and haven't heard Canrow's. Like there were definitely like sounds of fighting, and they're just like, what is happening? So there is definitely just a look of suspicion from all of the guards and officials as you come up, and especially as these 4 guards have gathered them all together, and then you show up and Canrow is nowhere to be seen. There's just generally an air of what is happening.
Yeah. If Galina was leaving the room, Princess would have followed after.
Okay. So you can both find your way up onto that platform where Lord Canrow.
And I also have
originally-
dragged Casta with me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And like probably not actually physically dragged, but she'll just be
Okay.
like,
It's
come.
like,
Because that
Yep.
would have.
Yep.
Fellow Eorians, I stand before you to tell you that the region of the Bladed Scepter has fallen. By the authority of the 5-star chalice, I, Lady Galina, will be taking command of the excavation and all Eorian citizens within.
All right, for that opening statement, I'm going to ask for either a persuasion or intimidation check just to set the tone for everything else you're going to say.
Fantastic. I think I'm going to go Persuasion because Persuasion is the one I have proficiency in.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah. So you're taking that will imply a gentler tone with the crowd.
Yeah, I think especially if Princess is like looking at it after like there was like genuine relief in the heads on the coin and then not having to kill Casta, and it like you can like you're like seeing because again like the ocean changes on a dime and like the rage has very much subsided and she's starting to like calm down and mellow out, and it's very noticeable.
Okay. So the persuasion was what?
That's a great question. I have +6 and I rolled a 13, so 19.
Okay. So you say that and there's just kind of like a murmur around, and like you can see that like as you say this, and especially there's like a look around, there's fear, there's like the beginnings of hope though, because like the way you're presenting this information is not hostile immediately to them. So they're like, oh, all right, she knows. We just dropped her down there to sacrifice her. We clearly know something happened, but she doesn't seem immediately murderous about it. So we're gonna, and like, you've got their attention, and you can see that like you're kind of pulling on that thread of hope that like, okay, we're caught now. What?
Yes. Now, you can thank Casta's luck for the tone in which this meeting is occurring. Had Casta not called heads, I would have killed each and every one of you for the crimes you have committed. But Lady Luck has decided otherwise, and it seems fate still has a role for you all. So I'm offering the opportunity to work with me and not against me. Because working with me will be what's best for Aor.
Another persuasion check.
Great. Different die. Okay, that's an 18.
Okay, yeah, you can see the general tone of the room is just like, yeah, okay, yeah, especially like the threat and seeing Casta there just like standing at your side, basically kind of just like in just dejected support of what you're saying, just like just not kicked puppy, but just like shame, just utter shame, and just like basically like standing there and like kind of backing up everything you're saying. You can see all of them are kind of just like rats on a sinking ship kind of looks of just like the Lord Canrow is dead, long live Lady Galina type look. With among the guards and everything, there is still some little bit of trepidation. So one last conclusion to just wrap it up and see how this all resolves itself with everybody.
Great. One last super cool thing to say. I can definitely do this. Thank you. Fellow Aeorians, I do not know how you felt about the 140 lives that were lost here in the ruins. I do not know how you feel about the ruins in general. I feel great sadness at this loss, and I feel mighty curiosity at this discovery. Now, what do you want from these ruins? Perhaps we could find it together. And along that path, we can find our salvation from the atrocities committed here. As a noble of Aeor, the deaths fall as squarely on my shoulders as they do all of yours. So, will you pledge allegiance? Shall we work together?
There's just a moment of quiet. Oh, the moment of quiet in the room as they kind of like make their final decision. So one last persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so anxious. Okay. Different die. Yeah. 21.
Okay. Yeah. You can see every single one of them. Everyone, like, you can see there's some glances around, but like the general, it's one of those things where like even just like any doubts anyone has as like Aeorian salutes start going up like one by one around the room up in your direction, just like cascade effect throughout the entire room. Just the peer pressure of it. Anyone who has doubts sees how many people around are going with it, and like knows they don't have a chance if they disagree. So just the whole room just basically pledges their allegiance in salute.
Fantastic. It is great news for me. Now I need to go to Lord Canrow's office because unfortunately, when you take control of something, now I have to deal with all of the accounting and there's lots of paperwork for me to go through now. So if somebody could take me there, please.
Yeah, one of the officials will come up. Casta is still too shell-shocked to be helpful at the moment. But one of the other officials will come up. Let's see. Yeah. An official comes up, a woman who introduces herself as Williv.
Like will of?
It's Willhav.
Williv. Okay.
It's like Williv.
Williv.
I'm Williv. And I can take you, though Lord Canrow didn't have much of a, he always said he didn't have much of a head for numbers, and he didn't really keep much in the way of ledgers. He preferred to leave that to others. If I'm not mistaken, the one who kept track of all of the ledgers and paperwork and everything was Madame Ingwe.
I need to speak to Nolan. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Wilhab. I very much appreciate that information. Again, if he does have an office, I am one for ledgers, so I will at least find a space to start keeping the numbers.
Yes, right this way. I can show you to it.
Wonderful. And then I'm going to turn to Princess. And Princess, would you mind coming with me for a moment? I wish to speak to you.
Princess just nods, follows after.
Great. What does my new office look like?
Yeah. Just 1 second, really quick, too, because this is just a funny thing because I do randomly generate the Yorian names. You want to know what Williv's full name is?
Yes.
You're going to make a choice today that will have a direct impact on where you are 5 years from now.
Stop immediately.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds a weirdly like Princess's speech earlier. I'm just saying, like it sounds like it's echoing it a little bit.
Yeah. So you can be shown to the office. It's a just kind of side chamber off of like the hallway that leads down to the room where you were just in. Like it's like this balcony. There's a room that goes like a hallway that goes down a flight of stairs, and there's like a half flight of stairs up to a smaller chamber that he's kind of converted into like an office and living space here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wilhav. I will call for you if I need you.
Yes, of course.
Princess, I wanted to say thank you. I think if you hadn't stopped to speak to me before Casta and no one came down, I don't know that I would have offered the coin flip. I don't think I would have. I've never felt anger like this before. It was all consuming. And I know that shedding more blood would have left me only with regrets. And so I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad at least your conscience is clean, but as I said, my speech was not for you. It was for the people that you have been put on this earth to serve. As you say, I'm not of Aor. I don't understand choosing someone's life based on a flip of a coin. I don't quite understand that, but I will try not to judge.
It is a very common practice in Aor.
Well,
So
They are obsessed with fate and chance.
Is that was that all?
yes, I just wanted to thank you.
Well, then you're welcome, my lady. Do you need any assistance going through this? Or may I take my leave?
If you want to help, feel free. If you want to leave, feel free. Like I said, you are not the Veor. I have no control over you. Though
That is certainly true.
I hope we are still friends.
I will need. I've had. Nobility has not been my friend, and I've seen many tyrants, and I've been victim to many of them. Forgive me if I thought maybe perhaps you were a little bit different, but again, it doesn't matter. You have your duty to do, and you have done it. And I'm glad that there was no more bloodshed, and I think that is what is important. I have to figure out what I'm doing here because my mission seems to be, and then like a look of like uncertainty and confusion sort of past her face. It's done. And I thank you for traveling with me to this place. I've been traveling alone for quite some time, so at the very least, thank you for that.
It was truly my pleasure. And I hope I have the opportunity to show you that not all nobility is bad.
I know not all nobility is bad. She kind of gives like this like look, kind of like
Fuck.
like a sort of like a, you know, like when someone says something that's kind of funny to you and you're like, but they don't know why it's funny. And she's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, all right, and she nods and she leaves the chamber.
I'm just gonna start doing accounting.
All right. Where were we? Okay, so back downstairs we've got Monty and Yulyanya are done with their harvesting. Viktoria has read the inscription. Tedros is like currently in the process of leading a like museum tour around this place of all the people and looking around, and has just figured out that the central pillar is probably a good place to start looking. So that's where we're at with everybody. I don't know if you want to, who wants to go, if anyone has anything in particular they want to do, look at, say.
So I know Viktoria probably towers above most of these people. Can I quietly try to join the museum tour?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You can blend it. There's a couple, like, you've the 6 ones that I named, like, you've blended in with them before. So like you kind of let's see. You and like Tithula is probably actually taller than you because she's a full orc. So she like, yeah, you can kind of like hide behind her.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm just surround myself in the crowd.
Okay, join Tedros' tour group.
Can Yulyanya also just weave underneath their feet?
Everyone just Tedros turns around, the whole party is just following around. Wait, what? Okay, Montblanc, anything in particular from you now that you've harvested all this troll stuff?
Really, not that I can think of.
Okay, just hanging out.
Or by himself, probably.
Okay. All right. Then Tedros, you're gonna get to you're leading a tour group. You've probably at this point noticed the inscription around the wall, having like walked the perimeter and everything. I think you would have read it in Draconic.
Yeah.
And gotten the same thing. Which, oh yeah, that reminds me. I will put that in the chat so everyone can read it. Let me put that there. So, and then the 4 the 4 inscription, it's the 4 inscriptions are labeled by the inscription they're next to, and then the bottom one is the inscription around the center. And I can read through them. I can read through them again if you'd like. Anyone would like to get any more information out of them as you read through them, or
I'm pretty sure he would take notes on what they say.
Okay.
And just details about like he'll just draw like a quick sketch and like mark down like this is what it looks like, this is what it looks like, this is what it looks like, this is what it looks like. And then leave a space in the center for like this is where words are, and just on the side he'll label what they are, and
okay.
That way he can look at it without having to necessarily be in the room.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then he'll just kind of he is very eager to get back and double check and see if maybe he figured things out after all. Back in the main room.
Okay.
But he is probably not going very quickly because he is, getting caught up with all of the stuff that is there to see.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll say you take your time with it and just kind of can investigate. So you make your way up the stairs and have like 32 people following you. You go along one of the walkways. You get onto that central pillar, which so far only Viktoria and Princess have been on so far. And you can see there is kind of like this curved, almost like railing type thing in front of you that doesn't. It seems to have just like lines and carvings and stuff in it that are really hard to make out. Again, they're very thin and hard to make out against the like the shifting pattern. You can see the corpses of Lord Canrow and Mr. Pleasant, who we now know whose name is Elaine, sitting there. Elaine has been looted. Canrow has not, and Canrow still has a substantial sized coin purse sitting on his belt as well.
Yeah, he will bend down and pick up Lord Canrow's purse and say, "This belongs to all of you. It's not going to make up for what he attempted to do, but I won't take any part in it. I'm getting what I need right now." And he'll hand the coin purse over to the people to disperse between themselves
Okay.
evenly.
All right. They will begin passing out and evenly distributing the 72 platinum pieces that were in that coin purse. So,
To be fair, Galina would have also done that.
yeah.
So don't
fair.
feel too bad.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
feel too bad.
No, they pass up the 72 platinum pieces, which amounts to 720 gold.
Yeah, I know. I can
Yep,
count.
okay. I will tell you, however, that at the end, so there's 30 of them, so there's 12. Yeah, they will at the very end, they will one of them will come up to you. It is where'd it go? It's gonna be Wilhelmina, the baker, the dwarven baker. She comes up to you with the rest, like they've passed them all out. She comes up to you with the coin purse, and she says, "We found that the number actually divided evenly into 36. So rather than figure out how to make the last 12 divided evenly, we figured we'd give it to everyone who was attempted to be sacrificed, since you were in there with us as well."
I'll take it. Thank you.
All right. So that'll be 12 platinum pieces for everybody. So that will amount to 2 platinum pieces for each of you, which is the equivalent of 20 gold, which is still something.
Wait, all of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll each get 2 platinum.
Yeah. Whenever Tedros gets around to passing that out to everybody, you
Yeah.
all get two platinum pieces.
Because I feel like I probably owe a lot of people a lot of money. Now that I'm taking over this bullshit.
We'll also check the body to see if there's anything else there of note.
Not really much of note, no.
Okay.
I will say though that so after you've done that, you turn back to like that curve, almost like console in front of you. As you get close to it, you actually feel. Do you wear your holy symbol on the inside of your or like under a shirt or on the outside?
It kind of goes back and forth. It's mostly out when he's doing stuff, like when he has
Okay.
to use magic, but otherwise he'll keep it in.
So right now, is it in or out?
I think it might be in right now.
Okay. So then you see the front of your shirt just kind of like pushing out away from your chest slightly as you approach and get close to it.
He'll kind of motion for everyone to take a step back and kind of slowly pull it out and let it free.
Okay. As you pull it out from under your shirt, it like as it starts to hang free because you're kind of like holding onto the chain, it kind of like sticks out at an angle away from you, almost as if being pulled by a magnet towards that platform in front of you.
I think he'll take a couple steps back just so that it doesn't go flying off his neck.
It doesn't seem,
then,
it's not enough to like yank it
Okay.
off, but it's just like kind of pointed in that like almost like a dowsing rod type thing,
so
gently pulled.
Okay, so he'll take it off and just kind of hold it and slowly walk it to where it's trying to go.
Okay, yeah, you can easily just guide it down, and it kind of just like lands on a spot, like a bare spot. There's like an open almost circle where there aren't any of those like lines or divots, and it sits there, and then just you can see that pink glow around your holy symbol that then just like illuminates all of the lines and divots in there, like in this pattern across the console in front of you, lighting it up. And as it does that, you can hear a very loud just ka-chunk. And the central pillar that you're standing on starts to very slowly descend and lower.
Oh, okay. Think we're going down.
So not everybody fits on that pillar, but we're Viktoria and Yulyanya close enough to be standing on it as well.
Yeah, Yulyanya would have been sticking fairly close to Tedros during the tour, so she would be on this platform.
Okay. Same with Viktoria, or
As soon as like the holy symbol starts going while Victoria's breaking out and going closer.
Okay, so probably about half the crowd is still on the platform, and like some get off because they have a recent bad experience with the platform lowering out from underneath them. Some of the more curious ones like jump on because they're just like, I want to see where this is going. So like it kind of is even about 15 people, and it's much slower. It's a much more gentle thing, and it's down to ground level where Montblanc is, and that's it because Galina and Princess are both upstairs. I don't think Princess has come back down yet.
Princess probably would have, like, if there was a way to go outside, she probably would have made her way outside.
Okay, so you're outside. All right.
Yeah, not inside at all.
Okay. So yeah, it gets down to ground level. So Montblanc, you see all of them get down to like the ground level where you are, and then it just keeps going down into the ground, like lowering like an elevator down into a even lower chamber. Tedros is looking just like
I
slowly
walk over and look down. How far is the drop?
Depends on how quickly you walk over there. Because it takes a while to get down the 15 feet to ground level. So
I guess
like
I'll get there as quick as I can.
Okay, so you would have enough time to get there. So like by the time you get there and it's lowering down, you would just like have like just a big step down to like land on the platform as it keeps lowering.
All right.
Okay, you can join them. And it keeps going down and keeps going down and eventually ends up in a deep lower chamber, and like it's completely dark as you get into this chamber, just like light filtering in from above. But as you get down there, and it like lands on the bottom with just kind of like a as it just like locks into place, just light from nowhere, basically, as if the walls are like uniformly glowing, which is kind of where like all the light is. Or actually no, everywhere else has been torches. Actually, I forgot to mention that the last room, the domed room, actually is very similar. It's as if the light is just coming from nowhere, kind of like in a dream. It's like the walls and everything are just like uniformly glowing, so that like it's coming from everywhere and nowhere. The same thing happens down here, where just like it just kind of lights up from no direction in particular, and you can see that you're in a smaller room than was up above, and you would recognize it as what looks like some kind of workshop. There are a series of stone tables along two main walls. It's rectangular, and then at one end you're coming down at one end of the rectangle, and at the opposite end is a totally featureless, either from age or original design, almost mannequin like stone statue standing just like on a very short little like platform at the other side of the room. And then there's these series of stone tables around, and that is what you see.
Okay.
Tedros, where are we?
The people who created these ruins seem to have figured out how to fill them with all sorts of extra spaces to keep things. I actually found this, and he points to his holy symbol, and another thing in one of them, and they were in a hidden space. I don't know what this one is just yet, but I'm very eager to find out. And he will kind of reach over and like see if he'll check to see if he moves his holy symbol, if it'll start to go back up. Or
yeah, you can pull it off. Again, it's like a very light magnet. It's like when you can easily pull it off, but it doesn't start going back up when you pull it off.
Okay, I will just, and he'll put it back over.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I've got to have something here. That is, he will grab something from his pack, and just he'll grab one of his torches, and he'll just touch the top of it and cast light and just hand it off to somebody. Just here, pull this.
Okay. I mean, the room is fully illuminated.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So yeah, it's that same like featureless light from nowhere that just
Right.
fills and illuminates the room.
So what do we see in the room?
It's a long rectangular room. You see what looks like workbenches or work tables made of stone lining the left and right sides, or sorry, made of stone lining the left and right sides. And then at the very far end, like directly up opposite from you, is a human-sized stone statue that has like no facial features or anything.
Okay. Is the stone the same sort of rainbow texture?
For the tables and the statue, it is not.
Okay.
And it looks a little bit more weathered and aged.
All right, just I'm gonna just give me a second to take some notes, and then we'll get a little bit closer, and he'll do just that. He'll take maybe like 3 or 4 minutes to scribble some stuff down about the details and how they got in,
Okay.
and then he will slowly walk forward.
Okay.
I want to touch the statue.
Yeah, Yulyanya would probably have already run quite
Eli-
towards the statue, right?
Tedros, I just imagine this.
Already.
I imagine the shot of Tedros just like in the foreground taking notes, and then just in the background behind him, you can just see Viktoria and Yulyanya just sprinting past him, right, like behind his back. Okay,
Just be careful. Like, we don't know how long it's been down here. It's some of these things get really fragile with age. Just be very, very careful. Just gentle.
Whoa, it doesn't have features.
So you go up to the statue,
Oh
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
and you said, "Did one of you touch it?"
Victoria's touching it.
We
Wait,
want to
the
touch it.
face.
Just touch. Okay,
touch-
you touch the face, and you immediately hear just here, and then just like a crack runs right across the face, like from cheek to cheek, basically just splits across the face.
I'm holding it shut. I'm holding it shut. I'm holding it shut.
And then you try, and then it actually like drops open, and for a second you think like part of the head falls off, but it starts moving like a mouth, like a jaw, up and down, and the crack forms into a pair of lips and starts moving as it says, Tedros, you can understand it because it's speaking Draconic, but I don't think either of you can. It says, "Hello and welcome, honored guests, to the workshop of Magister Generat. She appears to be out at the moment, so I can answer any of your questions about the work we do here at the Tower of Elemental Unity."
Tedros, what have I
Any
done?
questions?
You're just like taking notes, and you just hear
Yeah.
that from the other side of the room.
That's amazing.
Did I break it?
No, you didn't. I don't think you broke. Temple
The
of
statue
Elemental
talks.
Unity? Yeah,
Tower of Elemental Unity.
Tower of Elemental.
It
okay.
said we could ask it questions.
Yes, yes.
You understood that thing?
It's
Oh,
an
no.
Wait, yeah,
old-
yeah.
That's
Yep.
right.
It's an older form of Draconic. It's not as much used anymore, but it's still pretty. Tedros will ask, "Do you know what today is?"
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Do you know what today's date is?
No.
Okay.
Ask it what the room above was. Ask it what the room above was.
Well, it's the Tower of Elemental Unity. I'm going to go out on a limb between that and what we almost got turned into. It's probably meant to. Well, actually, I'll just ask. What is the purpose of the Tower of Elemental Unity?
Are you asking? I'm guessing you're speaking back to it in
Yeah.
Draconic. Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of going
Um,
back and forth between people who can speak common and people and the automaton of some sort that is speaking Draconic.
It will say the Tower of Elemental Unity is a joint project between the Union and the Isle of Quatmentis. It is intended to make use of lesser elemental spirits in order to produce enough energy to mimic the abilities of the greater elemental spirits for the purposes of mitigating natural disasters, such as storms, earthquakes, volcanoes, tidal waves, and wildfires.
Does any of that sound familiar to Victoria?
You don't. I don't know if Tedros is relaying this information because you don't speak Draconic.
Right.
God, I wish I was there. But I'm fucking
Tedros.
accounting right now.
You made your bed, now lie in it.
I am.
I'm pretty sure that Tedros, at that moment, kind of balls up his fists and like the piece of charcoal that he's writing with, he probably crushes it in his hand.
Tedros, what did they say? Why are you angry now?
This place is supposed to be here. This place is supposed to be here. Not to control the weather, but to protect from natural disasters.
Well, who made it?
Yeah, you made it.
And whose workshop is this?
Canrow was going to try and feed people to a tower that was meant.
Sorry, I'm
To
having
protect
trouble hearing
people.
you.
Sorry. Canrow was going to feed people, has been feeding people to a tower that is meant to protect people. And I think he drops that piece of charcoal in the dust on the floor. And he reaches in and pulls out a fresh one and a fresh piece of paper, and then starts taking notes, and says, okay, I'm new here. Let's begin. And he'll start relaying the information back and forth between the automaton and his companions, and we'll just kind of ask basic questions like, what's the union? Like,
Well, we'll go through these one at a time because it's going to have some. It has particular answers to these.
okay.
This is the actually. Make me an Arcana check really quick.
I can do that.
Oh.
Can Viktoria help at all?
Are
Knowing
you
magic? I'm not
trained in
proficient.
Arcana?
I am trained in Arcana.
I know you
I
are.
am proficient in Arcana.
Oh, okay, then yes, you can assist. So yeah, or you can either assist or make your own roll. It's up to you.
I have a negative to Arcana, so
Oh.
I'm gonna just assist.
Wait, how bad's your intelligence modifier if you have a negative to one you're proficient with?
Me
Wait, did I do the
too.
math wrong? I might have done the math wrong on that.
Because what's
I
your
have a
intelligence modifier?
negative.
My intelligence modifier is -2.
Oh, so you should have a 0 then, because your proficiency bonus is +2.
Oh, then I have a 0 and I.
Oh, okay, all right.
Arcana.
So you can aid then, yeah. So Tedros, you can roll with advantage.
Awesome. I love not having to take a natural 1. There goes the other 19 that's supposed to go with it. It's a total of 22.
Okay. You can identify. You can identify, yeah, like Victoria just like whispers in your ear if you're just like blanking and then just like the YouTube conference. You can identify that this is a very sophisticated, modified version of the spell you would recognize as Magic Mouth. So it's a program. It is a programmed series of messages, but it's a lot of them like overlaid on top of each other. So it is possible that this thing just won't have answers to questions because those answers weren't like laid into it.
Perfect.
So when you first ask what is the Union, it just says it is the Union, the Draconic Union.
Oh, okay. It was the Draconic Union, and what was the other group?
Island of Quadmentis.
Yes.
What is the Quadmentis?
The Isle of Quadmentis is an ally of the Draconic Union.
Okay. I'll take
But
it.
who made you?
Oh, my master is Magister Generate,
Who's that?
a magister of the Draconic Union.
I love this thing.
What
He
does
has-
a magistrate do?
Oh, a magister is a mage capable of great spellcasting within the Draconic Union.
Do you have a name?
I do not have a name.
Do you want the name?
I don't want things.
Wait, is this thing speaking common?
Do you have
must
a
be
favorite
nice.
color?
No, I don't have a favorite anything.
Obsessed.
Do you want the favorite color?
I don't want things.
I'm confused. Is this thing speaking common now?
No. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. They forgot. It's speaking
Tedros-
Draconic. Yes,
But
good
we're
catch.
going
Tedros
back
is
and
trans-
forth.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Tedros is
yeah.
translating.
Okay.
You think
I'm
Tedros
getting
isn't
very
just like
confused.
straight translating
Yeah.
all of this to everybody?
Yeah, it's just a lot of Tedros like
Yeah.
like speaking back and forth between these two in the
Okay.
thing. Yeah, just eventually it's like I don't want things. I'm just a magical pre-made recording of information that Magister Generat has left behind.
Okay. What is this space that we are in meant for?
This is Magister Generat's workshop.
What does Magister General work on in here?
Oh, all manner of things. I can go. Each of the tables has a project sitting on it that Magister Generat has been working on. And as you look at the tables, by the way, having passed them, and if Montblanc is like in the back, like looking at things, you can see that whatever was on here was mostly, you don't really know what it was made of, but all the parts you can see that are left are just horribly corroded and rusted metal. It is just nothing recognizable left on any of the tables. Except, Tedros, you can recognize one table has the shape of something that you do recognize on it. Like, just the barest bit, like crumbling metal. It hasn't been touched, so like the general shape of things is still there. And like, you can see that like there's barely a skeleton to the shape, but like the rust flakes have fallen off in a resemblance of a shape that of something that you currently have on your person.
In what condition is the one that he has? Is it
the one he has is much better condition. Okay. You would actually probably what's Tedros's background again?
He has a hermit background.
Okay. I didn't know if he had the archaeologist background that lets you like
no.
age and value things.
Oh, did I? Well, am I correct about that? I might just be wrong. It's maybe it's it might be
now
sage,
that you mention it,
actually.
I think I'm an archaeologist.
No, definitely not. I think it might be sage.
Oh yeah, I believe sage or
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Because
got it.
Okay.
Sage.
You would need some time to look at them and like look at because like you've done some archaeology before. You have the means to determine how old something is, but you based on like the one you have, and you spent a lot of time looking at it. It's like the one you have looks like it could be hundreds of years old. The level of corrosion here in this room would seem to indicate that the stuff in here was like thousands of years old.
So Tedros will reach into a pack that he had, into his pack.
Mm-hmm.
And Viktoria, when you had seen Tedros pull stuff out that first night when you were camping out, you saw him, he showed you a lot of like different tubes and scrolls and notes and things like that. But there's a particular one that you might have noticed that he didn't touch, and it's a bit bigger and bulkier than the others, and he pulls the end off of that one very gingerly and slowly slides out what looks to be a metal tube with an odd bend to it at one end, and he kind of holds it up gently to the super duper magic mouth and asks, do you know what project this is from?
Oh, well, that is one of the Draconic Union's shooting irons.
Shooting iron? What's a shooting iron?
It is a weapon used by the Draconic Union. Would you like me to give you Magister Generat's notes on her proposed improvements to the shooting irons?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
All right. He just begins in Draconic info dumping at you. All as just like notes upon notes upon notes. And the thing is, they're all ideas notes. Like you can recognize like the technical dimensions, measurements, things like that. And it seems like a lot of information at first, and it's a lot of like theory and stuff like that. But the thing you realize very quickly as he's saying all this to you is that she has a lot of ideas on how to improve this, and all of those ideas reference functioning parts for how it already works. So by sifting through all of her proposed improvements, you can sit here and at least write out, you can write all this down in notes. You can basically get some proposed ideas for things like some of the terms that are used do leave some holes for you, for like how, like what exactly how it could be implemented, but it's at least the skeleton of methods of potential improvement. But over time, I'll ask for I'm going to ask for a Tinker Tools check with intelligence just for listening to it right now. But I'll say this is not the last time you can do it, since I'm guessing you're writing it all down.
Yeah.
If you can't get it right now, over time, you'll be able to piece together a working schematic based on kind of like the outline that these improvements provide. So go ahead and make one right now just to see how much you can glean from this initial info dump.
It's a Tinker Tools check. So proficiency and intelligence.
Yep.
It's a 22.
All right. Yeah, just so I'm guessing at this point, Tedros stops translating because he's having to focus on like writing all this.
He stopped translating a while ago.
Yeah, rapid fire writing all this stuff down. And as you're right, it's like you almost have to take notes in 2 columns, because it's like the stuff he's saying, and then like you can dart over and like start making notes, and like this is all like your super shorthand of it's filling in gaps. It's filling in. You're like, I don't know what this is. What does this mechanism do? Why is this here? And it's like it makes a reference to something, and you're like, that's what it does. That's what this is. By the time he's done going through all of her proposed improvements, you have a pretty good idea on what you would need to do to get this thing functional, and like what it does, and what it would be used for, how to use it. You have you basically, you could take some time, and you would need to like custom make some of the parts, but you could probably, the one you have, you know which parts would need replacing and which ones are functional. You've kind of like already examined the functional or the functionality and the amount of decay on the thing. But basically what this comes down to is that given enough time and resources at this point, you have the information necessary to get your firearm in working condition.
Oh boy, this is a lot. Everyone, I'm sorry for the. There's just a lot. I've been looking at this for a very, very, very long time, and this is not what I expected to find here. And
what is it?
I think I'll actually be able to show you what it is.
Show us, what is it?
Well, based on this, I've had suspicions about what it is or what it does. But I think that this shooting iron is a think of it like a hand crossbow, but not a hand crossbow. Something smaller, but as powerful. Maybe more powerful. I don't know. It depends on what you... Oh, man, wait. I have no idea. What are we loaded with? Wait, no. I think that's not important. The important part is it's not what I hoped I would find first, but I think I can rebuild this weapon.
Well, that's just one of the tables. What about the others?
I don't know.
Other tables.
That's a good point. Okay.
Actually, I will say, based on some of the proposed improvements that she had, she did give, she some of the notes that you had like potential improvements on projectile velocity, and you were another thing is you were able to get a you were able to get a like kind of chemical composition of the powder that makes it work, which that one was something that was eluding you as well. She had basically some of the notes were things just like, if we replace this part of it with this, then maybe that would have this effect. If we replace this part with this, maybe that would have this effect. And like there was enough like proposed replacements to all of the chemicals that make up gunpowder that like you were able to piece together like, okay, these are the things she keeps referencing. I think that's the full list of ingredients. But also based on the proposed improvements to projectile velocity, the number she gives for where it's at already is makes arrows and crossbow bolts look like, you know, a tortoise in a hare race.
I'm really dumb. Does any of this sound familiar? I don't remember if we talked about where I'm from having this kind of stuff.
No, it
Okay,
is not.
cool.
It is. This is all of this is absolutely foreign to all of you.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right. It's been a day. We were supposed to rest and then get started on excavation here, and instead we almost got killed, and then we almost got killed. Let's go back up for right now. This is not going to go anywhere, and I need some time to just process everything. Oh my god.
Can I try something first before we go up? I just want to try one thing. I promise I won't touch anything.
Okay, sure. What's up?
I want to go to the statue and just say hello to it in Primordial. Because upstairs had both languages.
Mm-hmm.
So Victoria's like, does this thing respond to both languages?
No response.
Fuck. Anyways, okay. I thought that was smart.
We're really gonna go up? I mean, we still have so many questions unanswered.
Yeah,
That's how it goes.
do. but I mean, all of these people almost died today. We can't just. And I think we could all use a nap at least. So let's, we can come back down. It's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere until I ask more questions. That's for sure. But we've got a lot of really upset people upstairs, and some of them here too. So
Yeah, people are just kind of like looking around, poking around at stuff.
and also I kind of don't want them touching everything. There's a lot of it's a lot of stuff down here, and I just that's the selfish part. But also we really should just get some rest.
Boy, stop touching things.
It's, I mean,
Bang, ting, 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 ting.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely don't drop them though. Don't drop them. I get it. It's cool. It's like I mean I touched a thing too, but just don't drop it. Wait. All right, let's go upstairs. And I think he goes back to the, I think he goes back and puts his medallion back on. And
Before you as you turn around to go, the statue says one more thing. Oh, pardon me. Before you go, Magister Generet left a message for anyone who came to visit. Would you like me to share it with you?
Absolutely, yes.
It just kind of opens its puts its head back and just lets its mouth hang open, and a voice just this one is just a pre-recorded, magically recorded message comes out in a different voice, a woman's voice, and this one seems hastily recorded, closer to an actual magic mouth, and the voice says, "By the gods, we're making a terrible mistake. The Union, the other magisters, everyone is in danger if they finish the great work. The priestesses from the Isle of Quatmentis, they had to leave after we finished this place. Something about a problem back on their island, but before they left, they thanked us for the work that we did with a reading from their cards to tell us our fortune, our future. They said they had never seen a more dire warning before. All four of them at once drew from their decks, and every one of them drew the same cards. I don't remember what they were, but they said it was like fate itself reached through the cards to give out the gravest of warnings, and they believe it has to do with the great work. I'm just finishing up my notes here to make sure this place is ready for whatever comes next, but then I have to leave as quickly as I can. I must get to Mendro Caval and warn them. I have to tell them to stop before it's too late."
I mean, that's. I'm assuming he had to translate that too.
Hey, if you wanted to, you could.
Yeah.
You could translate it to Victoria.
Yeah. Does that mean something to you? I mean the cards, but is it the same cards?
I don't know, Sam. Does it mean anything to me?
It's like the back of your brain itches. It's like it's the you know, something on the tip of your tongue. It's the like, there's recognition but no information. There is just, it feels like it should, but when you go, it's like it's you know, when you like remember something, you have that like oh shit moment. You keep having that oh shit moment, but then there's nothing there to grab onto. All of this should mean something, but the information just isn't there.
Okay. All right.
If all 4 decks are giving the same card based on personal experience with my sister, that means very bad things. If it's all like bad cards coming out, very bad things.
But don't we already know that bad things happened here? Otherwise, there wouldn't be ruins.
Well, I mean, we don't know what happened. I mean, it's maybe there was some sort of disaster that only the building survived. Maybe everyone got sick and died. Maybe they didn't have a need for this place anymore and they left this world. Any number of things could have happened.
Maybe
just
bad
don't know.
people came and controlled beasts and sacrificed people? Maybe that?
I am gonna hope it's not, because that particular piece of history is a terrible one. Having lived through it, not a fan.
Yeah, me neither.
And I just put the full message in Discord so that you can read through it at your leisure and take notes on it and whatnot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Victoria's like just trying to like think on her deck what would be like the most dire card to draw. So like that's what she's preoccupied with. She's like not listening to anything else at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like it was a like full like reading, like full divination, not just like single card draw.
But like what would be the worst combination?
So like all of them drew the same cards and
It was-
like specifically a bunch of them. Like
It was
a bunch of
multiple.
cards.
It was multiple cards. They all drew the same ones in the same order in like the same positions and everything.
Oh no.
Like it was 4 identical drawings.
It's the deck of many things.
Doesn't sound great.
I'm just gonna say it. I would be freaked the fuck out even if it were telling me that I was getting a cake for my birthday. Like,
I
okay.
have to do a reading on this. I should.
Eventually, yeah. That okay. Let's. Tedros takes his amulet off and puts it back on the space.
Okay.
And checks.
Yeah, when you put it on, you can make sure everyone's on the platform first. But as soon as you put it back on the space, it just like it doesn't need to be as close this time. You can put it up right close, but it does like kind of click into place, and then the whole platform slowly raises up and gets back up to the top. And as you get back to the top, I'm going to jump outside to Princess, who said she was outside. You're out there. There's not a lot of people. Pretty much everyone was pulled inside to hear what Galina had to say, and like the workers are basically out there. But while you're out there, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Perception.
Mhm.
That would be 15.
Okay. Doesn't take you too long. Maybe 10 minutes of being out there. Just kind of like being out there by yourself, wandering around before you notice. It's one of those things where it's like you look at it a few times, but it takes a couple passes for it to register in your mind like that there's something missing. And you notice that looking at the wagon train where it's parked, one of the elk is gone. One of the ones up front, the harness is loose and hanging on the ground, and one of the elk is missing.
All right. It's like nighttime, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just gonna like look back at like anyone around and for a moment before just going over to where the elk are and the reins where it's like just dropped. And just like look see like if any tracks or that she sees.
Do you check over in that direction? You said?
Yeah, like wherever the reins were.
Oh, wherever. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can identify that. Looks like they have been. They're not broken. It looks like they've been unbuckled and detached. And you can go ahead and make me a survival check to look for tracks.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a 24.
Ooh. Yeah. So looking around, one, it's very easy to actually find tracks because looks like the elk did not. It still had the leg brace armor on, which just like pulverizes the stone as they run over it. So you can find the tracks. You can identify the tracks were moving very quickly, like pretty much at a gallop, or the elk equivalent of a gallop, and moved off. Basically, kind of like peeled off in an arc and then went back the way you came from, back up north. And with a 24, I will say that you are able to. You can compare like the depth and level of pulverization of the hoof prints on the ground to identify that based on like comparing it to the elk that are still in the train and like what they're leaving, that elk was a little bit heavier than the others in that it was probably carrying a rider. And if you had to guess, thinking back, actually I don't know if he mentioned it, that if Montblanc mentioned that there was if he spotted a guard running out of the building, but
He did actually say out loud, "There's a guard," and then start running.
oh, okay, yeah. So you said you heard Montblanc say there's a guard, start running, and then just come back. Having not seen any injured guards, Montblanc didn't kill a guard, so presumably the guard that was running was able to get wherever he was going, and that's probably who took that elk and ran with it back north.
Rolling to see if I do something stupid. Hold on.
God, I hope you rolled to do something stupid.
She does not.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, well, shit. And she's gonna look up at the sky and look at the moon. Where is it at right now?
Oh, good question. We are at. I think we're at the next. No, we're still on that same day.
On the same day?
First quarter rising, so still you're about a week away from you're like a week away from a full moon, about a week away from you're like right in between a full moon and a new moon, basically, like halfway in between.
All right. I'm gonna try to do something. Nearby, like in front of the elk, she's gonna like take her red cloak out that she kind of hid away and put it on the ground, and like sit crisscross applesauce. And she usually tries to keep all the voices like at the back of her head, but she's just gonna sit there and sort of like let them overwhelm her and just try to listen to anything that they have to say.
Okay. All right. I will say, make me a perception check to try and discern some kind of any wisdom from the cacophony of voices that are constantly accompanying you.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's a 25.
Ooh. Oh boy. Okay. All right. What do they have? What do they have to say to you? All right, because you're able to pick out like one whisper among many. And you're just listening for just like general You're not like asking for anything in particular. It's kind of
No,
just like
no.
general, just like what do you got to
Yeah. What do
all
you
of
gotta
them?
say? I'm here to listen. That's my job.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay, then the whisper that you'll hear, I won't whisper it because we're not going to go full ASMR on this, but the whisper you hear is going to be, "Vengeance lies behind you, vengeance yet lies ahead. The die has been cast. The next step of fate is about to land."
All right. Okay. After hearing that, Princess like takes like a deep heaving breath and then tries to reclaim her brain, which is always a difficult task from I don't know. Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna say, just
They usually have to roll like a wisdom.
I'm gonna say I think no, it's just I'm gonna say roll me a d4.
A D4.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get one of these bad boys out. Okay. Oh no. No. Okay. All right. That's a 4.
Okay. Oh, okay. You pull yourself you pull yourself out of it, and it's a moment of, as you're trying to pull yourself out, it's a matter of asserting yourself and your will over all of these voices that are constantly trying to overwhelm you. And this time, as you do that, you kind of just like, they're all whispering, they're getting louder and louder and louder, and just kind of like mentally, just kind of in a very authoritative, like mental authoritative tone, call out just enough, and they all grow silent. And you can, there's a second of just dead silence among them as they all wait, and you have this sense of all of them just kind of expectantly waiting, and just kind of there's a moment of just all of them kind of listening to you, and the one whisper comes across from all of them, which is and this clarity lasts for 10 minutes, so you can wait on this, but the question that echoes in your mind is, what would you ask of it? What would you ask of us, Your Highness? And for the next 10 minutes, you can ask the voices about a specific course of action that you could take in the next 30 minutes, and then you receive an omen as if you would cast the augury spell.
Okay.
So basically, it'll give you a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a eh.
Okay.
Lower wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Should I chase after the one who ran?
Based on it can only give you positive or negative. Actually, the response, it can give you positive, negative, or neither.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to give you the nothing response, which is basically neither is, it doesn't, kind of the answer you get is it doesn't matter.
Right.
For your fate, at least in particular, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Do what you will.
Then when after he's like, "Thank you, your princess thanks you," and then she pulls herself out and gets up and goes back into the temple.
Okay.
Or ruins.
All right. Are you just going and hanging out? Are you doing anything in particular?
I don't think they're back up on. I wouldn't see anybody in, like, when I first walk in. I would just see like the.
Oh, do you go? I didn't know. Do you go down into the lower chamber?
I mean, if I don't see any of them in the.
Well, no, because So when you first come in, there's two doors that none of you have explored yet. There's the chamber where Canrow addressed all of you, which has like the hole that runs down to the lower floor. There's formerly Canrow's, now Galina's rooms and study. And then if you go down to there's the big domed chamber, that's where everyone is. And then there's like the basement that they're all currently in.
Okay, and you said there's two rooms that we haven't gone in yet.
Mm-hmm. Those are like right past the entrance. Yeah, you've like passed them as you went in and out. Just
Okay.
like doors that open to the left and right.
All right. Princess is gonna go towards the left door.
Okay. Yeah, you can go towards the left door. The room. So you can just open it. It opens. These doors were there. These were you passed these on your way in initially before you got to the place where Canrow spoke to all of you, and you open the door and you can see basically it's a room filled with you see a bunch of brooms, a bunch of shovels, a couple of wheelbarrows, and piles of ash.
Do these look like people ash, or
it's hard. I mean, you don't really. It's hard to recognize. But like, do you poke? I don't know if you poke around a bit in it, or do you just like look at it from a distance because it's kind of hard to identify people ash.
She's gonna be like, is that people ash? Like she'll go up to it and like.
Do you like take a shovel and poke around in it?
Yeah, like just like a handful, like run through.
Oh, you run your fingers through it?
Yeah.
Okay. Run your fingers through it.
Anyway.
You run your hand through it, and you eventually, like, as you're running your hand through it, like, deeper into one of the piles, you come across something, like, hard and solid in there.
She would pull it out.
Yeah, you lift it up, and as the sand, like, clears out, you can see you lift up a like, charred human skull, and, like, ash, like, pours out of the eyes and mouth and, like, the nose and everything, having, like, been filled up inside of it.
She would, just like make like clutch her pearls, quite literally. I was like, I realized, like, oh yeah, she has this on, and just like, oh, God, just like holding the skull, and like, just kind of like shell shocked, and she's gonna make her way up to Lady Galina.
Okay. Yeah, your hands are just like gray with ash still, and you're just holding this like blackened, charred skull, like little bits of white still, but like mostly just smeared with ash and soot.
So yeah, she enters your office and whatever you're doing. I don't know. Interrupts that.
Can you? He really wasn't a person for numbers. Oh my god.
No notes, no journal or anything.
I have to get Ingwe. This is preposterous. Oh, Princess, I'm so sorry. Hello again.
Hello. I found a chamber full of ash, and I believe those are ashes of the people who came here. I figured you would want to know that. And she just kind of like puts the skull on the desk.
That is truly. I mean, we knew it was happening, but it's horrifying to see it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if you have any practices where you're from for proper burial. They were just in a broom closet.
It's a little bigger than a broom closet, but yeah.
There was brooms in it, and there was like in the corner.
I mean, the brooms were to sweep the ash like into place. Like it wasn't. They weren't stored with the brooms. The brooms were stored with the ash. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Wait,
have
it was like.
customs.
It was like curated ash, like carefully like swept and piled ash.
Like
not like carefully, not like into like specific piles. It was more just like it looks like they brought it all in wheelbarrows and dumped it in here, and then like the broom was just to like, you know, keep it all on one side of the room, like if it tracked or anything. Yeah, it's gross.
Yes, we have traditions based off of northern or southern. None of them involve wheelbarrows and brooms.
Though half of them do involve burning.
Though half of them do involve burning.
I can actually tell you the method of what happens to a body in Aor is actually determined normally, like everything else, by chance. When a person dies through some sort of 50-50 chance determination, it determines which of the it basically determines which of the two gods of death they're sent to. The two gods of death are Dole and Ravik, which are, if they're sent to Dole, their bodies are burned and are sent up to her domain in the sky. If they're sent to Ravik, they are buried to be sent down to his domain in the underworld. Neither is considered to be better or worse. It's just kind of which of the two gods of death you end up with. So it seems that per Aorian tradition, all of these people, given the method of death, it was pre-decided that they would end up all in the domain of Dole.
Yeah, if Princess dicks around, Galina will definitely info dump that at her. Just kind of like I think she's also like a little like, because yeah, you know about it, you know what happened, you know 140 people lost their lives, but then you like see it, and it's like, just fuck, you know. So now she's just like spewing out like anything, because it's just what the fuck is going on.
Going on a like Princess is gonna just like put her hand on like Galina's hand. It's like, I thank you for telling me. You're
sorry, you're right. That was I'm sorry.
I literally brought a skull and put it on your desk. I understand.
You sure? Yes, that's a thing that happened. Like a very angry cat.
I think that's an accurate description of my personality. Yeah, this conversation's making me realize that I forgot to send you my religion sheet.
Okay, yeah. Well, yep. Whenever when you get a chance.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I feel like it's not so different in the way we deal with death. My people and your people. So you shouldn't be in here. You've had a long day. You should rest.
I have to start with the ledgers.
What ledgers?
Well, I have to figure out the names of everybody who died here so that we can contact their family. I have to get the money together to pay all of the people who did not die.
The people will still be dead in the morning, and so the ledgers will also be here in the morning.
They actually won't be.
They're not here at all.
Or not here at all.
Problem. There's nothing here. He was so fucking stupid, and I hate him so much.
Galina, and then she can reach her tiny, like she's so short. Like hold her face, like you need to calm down. You are the voice of reason here. You are the leader here. Strong shoulders, strong head. Let's screw it on right.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Rest. You need rest. And yes. I'm going to tell you this, and this is not a invitation to also go on another mission. But when I was outside, I saw that it must have been the guard that Montblanc was saying that had ran off.
Oh yes, I remember vaguely hearing something about that.
Yes, you were focused on other things. They took one of the elks and ran. I'm assuming they're going to Lady Ingwe, who is most definitely in on this. So I don't know if those ledgers will be your priority. She might flee. I don't know. They have a head start on us, but we're no use to anybody. Tired, and Tedros still has work to do in these ruins. So
you're right. However, I refuse to let that woman get away with what she has done. I must speak to no one right away. But as soon as I'm done speaking to no one, I promise rest.
I'll come find you if you don't.
Okay. It's good, fair deal. Promise rest after I speak to no one.
Very well. We take promises seriously where I'm from. And she turns around and leaves again.
I think we kind of have to leave together though.
Yeah.
Well, she's gonna go before you and go in a different direction wherever you're going. I don't know where.
Okay. There's like 2 minutes where she's like behind you, like anxiously, without asking you to move faster. Is just kind of like anxiously walking slowly behind you, like.
Princess is a quick walker. She's moving.
I'm so much taller than you are.
Galina's leg is like the
You're-
height of Princess.
Oh my gosh. It's too funny. I'm sorry. Like I'm short.
No, it's okay. No rush. Again, we're supposed to be resting, and
Princess steps out the way and just goes like this.
Thank you.
All right, you can go ahead and find Noan. Was just like sitting off somewhere, just kind of like lost in thought, and sees you. Just yes, my lady.
I am so sorry to. I know it's been a lot, and you just heard a lot, and it's very scary. Madame Ingwe is, from the intelligence I have gathered, she is the right hand of Lord Canrow, and she is the one with all of the books, all of the numbers, and all of the names. And I need those. And I need them yesterday. And so I'm here asking, begging, if you can take the train back faster than the person who escaped left. You can take some guards with you, apprehend her, bring her back. I need all of that information. If I can make this right somehow, I need that information to.
He said so. He said someone escaped. Okay, I can move faster than a person on foot. Yes, no problem.
I believe they stole an elk.
Oh, one of the ones off the. Then he like gets up and like walks with you out front. Like you can see, like he walks and you can see the one missing off the front of the train. He says, "Oh, how I don't think I can catch up with him if it's just one. They run the same pace. Putting all of them together, pulling a train, they can't go faster than just one with a rider."
Yes, I completely understand that. However, the fastest you can get back to that camp is the less time Madame Ingwe has to gather everything up and leave.
All right, so I'll take guards with, and we will apprehend her.
At the very the very least, I need the names of the people who were hired. That is at the very least, that is what I need from you. Anything else is so greatly appreciated.
I'll do my best. All right. I'll find some guards. I'll say it was under your orders. I'll bring them by you if they don't believe me. But yes, I'll do my best.
Yes, and again, I do you have the authority to apprehend her under the 5-star chalice. So you can take as many guards as you think you need.
All right. Right, and he'll start putting together some guards, get his caravan guards together, and as soon as he can, he will hop them all on the train, turn it around, and start galloping off towards north again.
Great. Okay, Princess, I'm off to rest now.
It will say he does unload in order to reduce weight. He unhooks a lot of the cars. He does leave behind the 20 relief elk that they bring with that they didn't need to use because none of them are breaking legs this time.
Nice, good to them.
Yeah. Okay, so you're heading off to rest, or just is that what you yell in Princess's direction?
Oh my god, I yelled in Princess's direction and I go looking for Viktoria.
Okay. You can find Viktoria, Montblanc, Tedros, and Yulyanya all just coming back up from that lower chamber where they all just were.
Princess was waiting for Galina, so she would have seen that.
I'm going to go rest.
Yeah, just walks right downstairs.
And then Princess just sighs and follows after. So she
Honestly,
can drag everyone else to bed.
You might be downstairs just looking at this hole in the floor where there used to be a platform when Galina comes downstairs just as everyone else is rising up out of the hole in the floor. You just hear, "I'm going to go rest," and then Galina comes right downstairs and sees you right in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
Is this not where we rest? This is the resting place, no?
Mm-hmm.
We're setting up camp in here? I'm sorry, I had to speak to Viktoria.
That's fine, understandable. I'll drag her and everyone else to bed as well.
Okay, great. It's fine. I follow your lead.
Okay, so yeah, everyone else, you're all in one place again.
Everybody, Princess says go to bed.
But first, where the hell were you just at?
But first
Well,
that.
we
What the
came-
hell is even that?
Yeah.
Princess has the right idea. See, we're all tired.
I thought
Uh,
you meant Princess had the right idea asking us where we were.
Well, that's also a good question to ask. I mean, there are a lot of different secret alcoves that could be in a place like this.
We were in a weird workshop with a
we're-
talking stone man.
A what?
The talking stone man.
A talking
heard.
stone man, a man that
Hmm.
talks, but he's made of stone.
He had only
I just
mouth,
looked at
no
Tedros.
eyes.
Clarification.
I'm also looking at Tedros.
We just found a workshop from one of the people who used to be here. They had some sort of arcane device that gave a lot of information, a lot of really, really useful information. I'm gonna go back down tomorrow, and I'm probably gonna spend most of the day there, if I'm being honest. But it's been late. We've been almost killed at least twice. So let's take a nap. How are you? Are you two okay?
Yes, ish. Vaguely. Not really. I'm very tired.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the people that tried to human sacrifice us, are they the reason that all of those monsters were attacking all of those trains and places?
I think that, well, perhaps it seemed as if they were trying to, in their own way, stop us from coming here and being sacrificed in their own way.
So do you think they're the same people that attacked the circus?
I do not know, but I can ask.
We'll definitely find out. Yeah.
I don't understand.
We'll figure it out.
Yes. I promise we will figure it out. And as Princess says, promises are very important.
They are.
Thank you.
And then I'll like offer a hug to Yol if she wants it.
She'll just swoop right in.
Okay. I take it everything else with the nobles went all right, and we finished. Everybody's on board with.
Yes, I will fill you all in tomorrow if you want, or I can do it now if you'd like. But I'm taking my cue from Princess here.
Well, is there anything that we have? Is someone gonna try and?
I guess
stab or
the
shoot?
most pressing thing is just Madame Inglay. From
about
what I
Madame
can tell,
Inglay?
she was clearly the numbers person of this operation. And because he was not, I have nothing here, which means she has everything there. I've already sent
Bitch.
Noen and guards after them. But it would also seem like a guard or somebody escaped from here and ran to tell Madame Ingwei. I'm hoping that no one can get there before they have the opportunity to fully leave. But I cannot hold my breath for this. I'm expecting bad news.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, from our last trip out there, they better hope that no one gets to them first. If there's one land shark, there's probably more.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The land shark.
I don't even know how big they get. That one was, I mean, almost took a chunk out of my chest, and I'm a grown man.
I forgot about the land shark, and without the big
How do you
train,
forget about the land shark?
a lot has happened. Okay,
I almost died. I
I
haven't been hurt since.
literally almost died like 3 times on top of the train. Whereas
That
with
is
the
a
land
good
shark,
point.
I
It
only
was
died once.
traumatizing.
Victoria,
I-
are you well?
In what way?
It's not good to bottle things up.
I don't understand the question.
What are you feeling? Feel your feelings. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to feel my feelings right now. That is what I'm feeling.
That is perfectly legitimate.
All right. The princess is gonna go away. Just go find some place to sleep.
All right. I think maybe we should make camp, or well, I mean, they had to have had some place for all these people to sleep, right? The guards should know.
Maybe not. These
Maybe
people
not.
seemed like they showed up and died.
Well,
No,
the
the
guards
guards
can
and the
sleep
people,
in the room with the dead people tonight. I don't care.
I would rather not sleep in the room with the dead people.
I am
It's
not
fine,
sleeping
Victoria.
in the
I
room.
have a room. You come sleep with
Yeah.
me. It's fine.
You can all look around. You can find there's the whole camp out in front that you were like
Right.
posted
yes.
at before you came inside. It seems that has enough rooms for all of the guards and everybody. It also has room for it pretty much has room for the caravan, and no one. You get this. You find out. Yeah, they would. No one in the guards would they'd come in. They would spend the night. They would not enter into the tower. Everyone else would go inside. Next morning, they would turn around and head back. So there is room for all of them. Since no one and the caravan people are currently gone because they're rushing back along with several guards, there's plenty of open beds for all of you.
Since I wasn't out here when it happened, I'm gonna look up at the moon.
Okay. Similar, yeah, same thing. One week away from a full moon, 1 week away from a new moon.
Alrighty.
Are you both werewolves?
Oh, I suppose we have to
guess-
find out in a week, huh?
See, some people
I'd like to do downtime now, please.
If-
1 week of it.
See, some people can control it when they transform, so who knows?
That's true.
Monty's
we'll have to just...
actually a were land shark.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
weird. Oh no, that'd be awful.
Okay,
But
I was
also
about to
awesome.
say this, that Princess is gonna be like looking at everyone, making sure everyone goes to sleep before she goes to sleep. So would Princess have seen Montblanc
Oh,
looking up at the moon?
100%.
Noted.
All right. Does everyone go to sleep then?
No.
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 Okay. Does everyone
Lie
find
to
Eventually.
lie to Princess.
We're
I
gonna
can tell
go
you
to
right
bed
now
so
that
soon.
Tedros tries. He really and
Okay.
truly does legitimately try to go to sleep, but ends up spending at least an hour like looking through all of that stuff before he forces himself to go to sleep.
I should have asked, does everyone go to
force.
bed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
eventually. I'll spend like, because you only need 6 hours for a long rest, 2 to do
Right.
whatever. So I'm just gonna turn the lightning off on my flail.
Oh yeah, that's just been crackling this whole time.
Yeah.
It's like a little
like a-
night light.
Like a down power line that you've just been swinging around.
Just scaring the shit out of all these poor people.
I mean, they saw him use it to clobber a troll, so they're happy that it's on their side.
Yeah, take a look at the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Make a mental note of it. And yeah, go to sleep, I guess.
Okay.
Galina, okay. If Victoria tells Galina about the message, then no, I do not immediately go to sleep. If Victoria doesn't tell Galina about the message, then Galina will definitely try to bed down.
Okay. Victoria.
Before that, after Galina gave Yule a hug, Yule kind of just kept latched on. And so when Galina said, Victoria, come, you can sleep in my room, Yule is just going to say, can I come?
Oh,
I
yes,
don't
of
want to be alone
course.
tonight.
Of course, beloved, of course you may come.
Thank you.
Okay. And then does that influence whether or not Viktoria tells Galina about the message?
It does.
Okay.
Victoria will not
Okay.
tell Galina about the message with Yule right there, and Victoria will not sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, then, in our various states of going to bed, well, that'll bring us to the end of the session for the week. We will find out next week what happens with all of that. But you've dealt with the aftermath. You have found the workshop. You've learned some things. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Amazing.
Thank you for joining us for watching, everybody. We had a lovely time. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. And we'll see all of you next week. Justin just like it ended 5 minutes ago.
Nope.
Justin's just like, no, okay.